So today is Death Diary Day, and that's always a really exciting little scenario that pops up. However, today we're going to be doing a slightly different format because there's a bunch of stuff that I want to talk about that is rather cool. Make sure that you sit in for the end of the video because, well, the date of the announcement for the Le Guin expansion has been announced. So good news, everybody. The announcement for the announcement has in fact been announced. Aren't we so excited? Anyway, we're gonna get underway with Dev Diary 130 as Le Guin is rapidly approaching us. Last week, of course, we talked a little bit about the joys of traditions and whatnot. Today we're going to be talking about new and changing technologies. Now, if we go into our tech tree, where there's clearly obviously nobody in here right now, and we go into our society related stuff, ignore some of this stuff. A bunch of new techs are going to come in, and a bunch of other techs are going to change because the way the planetary system works as of right now, for instance, on this planet, obviously we have the tile system. So previously you would have upgrade for these buildings, these hydroponics farms, and whatnot. This is in fact going to change because the job system is going to come in. We're going to see a different approach because jobs are going to be the main system of generating food. For instance, we're going to have farms. So rather than having buildings that generate more food and you put a pop on that tile, instead the farmers are going to be generating a larger percentage of food. So in this particular example, nano vitality crops is going to generate 10% additional food generated by farmers, and as well for gene crops and eco stimulation and whatnot. Very similar for any technology involving resources. So, for instance, the overall production quality for nano plants and whatnot is going to go up based on your technology. So, your buildings are going to improve over time, or food processing is going to improve over time, and whatnot. So, more resources being generated per pop, per building, etc. So because of that, a whole bunch of new technologies are going to be introduced, but also a whole bunch of new technologies are going to be overhauled as well. Now, just to quickly summarize, we're going to have two resource technology types. So raw resources, like I mentioned, the food, and the advanced resource technologies, which is basically the advanced resources like goods and alloys and whatnot. So you'll be able to produce more of those, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty nice to have that. In addition, there is also going to be a bunch of new technologies for any sort of outpost and mining station. So if you take a look, for instance, at this mining station that's sitting around this star, it's currently generating, and I want to say it's currently that's the mining station, right? Yeah. So let's have a look here. So it's generating a certain amount of resources at the moment. So what it would normally do is it would always generate the same amount of resources. Now this is going to change with Le Guin, specifically regarding the science output stations, like this one over here. Now right now it generates 2 research for the engineering department. This is going to change in the future where you will have your base research, but you will be able to get bonuses on top of that. And the examples we have right here is that research station output can increase by percentages, which is very interesting when it comes to strategy in space, as well as where do you kind of want to focus your expansion early on. Do you want to go on that science in space and tech towards that, or do you want to focus more on planetary side of science and then work your way up all the way to the science nexus and whatnot? So this is interesting stuff that you need to look after. In addition, there is crystal mining where you can get new buildings, you can exploit new resources like exotic gas refineries. Getting access to satramine gas, for instance, is the one that's given here to this particular tech setup. Then there is, of course, the specialized technologies. We're going to skip this for now because we're going to move forward a little bit. We're also going to be talking a little bit about technologies that increase city districts. So you get more housing on city districts, which means you can hold more pops. There are several tiers of this. Building techs, being able to get the arcane resource, which is a new resource is going to be introduced in 2.2. Stuff like hyper entertainment forums, getting more resources from jobs and whatnot. So it's kind of cool to see that. But now it's time to talk about the technologies that I was alluding to earlier on and why I'm playing with this particular setup here, because the Great British Empire in space has a problem. It's somewhere around the 19th century and somebody has just pinched a loaf of bread. Now, there are several things we can do here with this person. However, we should probably do something that is a little bit non-standard. Let's go to a planet here. Let's just colonize this quickly because, well, space, Australia. Why? Because penal colonies are coming. That's right. Penal colonies will be separate colonies in your empire where you can dump your criminal elements. Kind of like how the British did with a big chunk of their population that pinched a loaf of bread somewhere in the 18th and 19th centuries. Now, penal colonies will have huge amounts of crime, but that means that the other colonies will not, which is great. But it probably also means that crime syndicates will pop up there a lot easier. Now, a planet needs to be size 15 to become a penal colony. You can always remove it and reintegrate them into society, or, you know, split them off as a own country or something along those lines. I don't know what the stuff is going on there. But yeah, creating a penal colony technology is in the game. It's pretty pricey though at 8,000 society research. In addition, resort worlds will be coming in. Basically, you will have resort worlds. You cannot build any districts on them. You cannot put any resource building on them. But you can only have maxed out habitability for all pops, which it automatically gets. Every single every single amenities in the Empire will be increased. And resource worlds have their own set of capital buildings that provide some housing. Basically, it's Ryza. It's a planet of banging. Great. Absolutely great. And obviously, like I mentioned, you can't really build a planet and then say, hey, look at all these factories over here, let's turn this into a resort world immediately. No, you can't do that. It needs to be a virgin planet to turn into a resort world. Also, 8,000 society research on that there. Bad boys, and these all can be done through decisions. It costs 100 influence and is kind of cool. So yeah, disables construction of districts and most buildings on the planet. And all the other planets will generate more amenities, which is great because it basically means that you have a holiday planet and everybody will be super happy about that, which means that, yeah, production increases. So, yeah, penal colonies, resort worlds, pretty great stuff, as well as a whole bunch of new technology overhauls, as well as stuff in space. Man, was this worth the joke? The Great British Empire in space? It took me a solid 5 minutes to set this up, and even 10 minutes to actually find this flag, and the Irish harp is on there. I'm sure that I've managed to trigger a whole bunch of people with this here shenanigans. But we're gonna go and wrap it up here. If you have any questions regarding penal colonies or getting gulagged, which is the alternative joke to this, of course, and of course gulags are not a joke, yeah, make sure you put your retorts in the comments below. That's what they are there for. And as always as well, make sure you give this video a like if you liked it. If you didn't like it, give it a like as well, because reasons. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. And until next... Oh, wait. No. I forgot about something. Almost forgot about something. Sorry, my script, I need to scroll down a little bit here because I put it on the other page. Next Wednesday, on the 24th of October, 2018, on twitch.tv/Paradox Interactive, as well available as on mixer.com, Paradox Interactive, we will see what is considered to be the greatest and best announcement in the galaxy at 3 o'clock CEST, that's Central European Summertime. And, yeah... a Wednesday announcement at 3 o'clock, and there is a Eucomenopolis in the background. I think we all know what this is going to be. The big trade expansion with mega corporations is on its way, and it's going to be announced next week. And I'm really looking forward to it. Most likely, it will be the main focus for the Death Diary video of next week. We will see. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take good care of yourselves, and as always, each other.